Hi guys, it's Grace from Grace Gets Gastric. Today is Tuesday, March 13th, and I am here today with my week 10 post-op VSG update. So we'll start off with stats as always. Again, my name is Grace. I am 5'8", 27 years old, and on January 2nd, 2018, I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy or VSG weight loss surgery. My highest weight was 354 pounds in May of 2017. Pre-op, I lost 35 pounds, and my starting weight day of surgery was 319 pounds. Last week, I came at you with a weight of 280 pounds even, and today, this morning, I weighed in at 277.7 pounds, so that is a weekly loss of 2.3 pounds, a since surgery loss of 41.3 pounds, and a loss since my highest weight of 76.3 pounds. So yeah, all of those things are great, exciting. 2.3 pounds, that's great. I mean, obviously I would like it to be higher, but you know, I'm always going to want it to be higher. So 2.3 pounds in a week is great, especially because I was actually expecting it to be lower because I started working out last week, doing like strength training and stuff, and I've been pretty sore. So I was expecting to be retaining a lot more water, and so I might still be retaining water, and maybe I actually lost less than that. But yeah, 2.3 pounds considering that I started kind of working out and doing strength training, I'm okay with that. So like I said, I did start working out, going to the gym. I told you guys last week that I wasn't going to let myself use my sad back as an excuse, and I really, I've been wanting to work out, and I just needed to go for it. So last Tuesday, I went to the gym. It was my first early morning workout session. I went with my roommate, and I definitely pushed myself too hard. So I did 35 minutes on the elliptical. That was totally fine. And then I did weights. I actually didn't even do that many. I just did the hip abductor machine, the one where you are squeezing in. And then I did weighted squats, which I did a much higher weight, like twice as much maybe than I normally do. And I was feeling it all day, and then barely could walk for the next like 2-3 days. So it's like I pushed it to, I mean, it's good to push it a little bit. I pushed it to the point of like it being detrimental because I was going to work out again on Thursday and I couldn't, just because like I was, my calves, my thighs, not my calves, my thighs, my ass muscles, and then my like inner thigh groin muscles were so tender. It was like, I mean, I was literally hobbling around. And also on Thursday I had a last minute physical therapy appointment at 8 a.m., which I could have still worked out, but with that inconvenience combined with just I wasn't physically feeling up to doing much. So that was kind of a bummer. Just I was so excited and so jazzed, and I just overdid a little bit. But then on Saturday we went to walk around this lake. It's called Green Lake. So there's like a 2.5 mile like walk around. And it's just really fun to do, and it was really beautiful on Saturday, so we went and did that loop, and then I was able to convince my roommate to go work out with me on Sunday morning. And I did more weights this time, like I did more exercises, but I didn't push too hard, enough that like I was still feeling it for a few days, but like not too much. And then I went and worked out again this morning. So yeah, like I said, I'm working out. I worked out 3 times last week, twice at the gym, which is what I wanted to do. I'm planning to do that again this week, and I think Tuesday morning will probably be okay. I mean, sorry, Thursday morning. I don't think I pushed too hard today, but I guess we'll find out for sure tomorrow. But yeah, I've been enjoying working out, enjoying moving my body. I've been mostly hitting my March step goal of 7K steps. I didn't hit it on Wednesday, Thursday of last week because of my soreness. Like walking was painful. So I wasn't able to get 7K steps on those 2 days, but every other day I exceeded it. And I think, let's see, I'm at about 9.5K today. So I think I'll probably get to 10K today, which is awesome. So like I said, I did have physical therapy again this week. I've got a session, sorry, last week. I have one this week, and I have some scheduled for the next 2 weeks as well. So I'll see if I actually continue to go. If I need it, my back is feeling a lot better. It's still not 100%, but it's feeling pretty good. I've been doing the physical therapy. I've been doing acupuncture. I did acupuncture again last week. I've got another appointment this week, and it's going well. The only time it's really bugged me too much is actually when I went to my laser hair removal session. They had me sit in this chair, and it was an awkward angle, and I had to kind of hold myself, and I felt the strain in my back then, and I was like, okay, it's definitely not 100%, but most of the time it's pretty good. But speaking of, I did have my first laser hair removal session, like where they actually did the thing. So I mentioned in previous videos that this was my reward for hitting my second milestone of losing 25% of my excess body weight. This is I had my first of 6 sessions to remove kind of the hair like right here on my like chin neck area. I think they sheeted here too, which is pretty dark and coarse. I probably have, like I said, I'm diagnosed PCOS, but that's beside the point. It was really fast. Like I was in and out in 10 minutes. They like brought me in, they put this like gel on me, and then they like, you know, kicked up the laser. It was a little bit more painful than I was expecting, but I'm totally a baby when it comes to pain. It was kind of like a burning sensation combined with, if you've ever done like the epilators where that, you know, you like shave and it pulls out the hair. It was kind of that. Someone described it as like a hot rubber band on your skin, which I also felt like was accurate, but it was pretty quick. I mean, it was just, I was kind of like, ugh, and then it was over, and it was a little red and tender afterwards, but I think it's pretty much fine now. It was a little bit like, yeah, hot and sore a bit, but that was yesterday, and it was totally fine. This morning, and even a few hours later, it was pretty much okay. So I've got 5 more sessions. I will let you guys know how that goes and if it works and all that stuff, but I'm feeling positive about it. Let's see. I had my first sort of experience post-surgery, I think, of really mindlessly eating. And it wasn't super bad for me, food, it was just unplanned. I had on Friday, one of my coworkers, it was her last day, and so that we had like a party, and people brought food in, and there was a cheese platter of like these like, little tiny cheese cubes, and I was like, oh yeah, I can eat that, and I was just planning to have one, just as I like cheese, but it wasn't in my macros. It was like one cube of cheese will be fine, and then I just kind of like ate several more, which was not the end of the world. I mean, cheese can kind of add up, so I was definitely over my calories that day, but it was cool because it was kind of the first time I'd mindlessly eaten, and I'd really noticed, and I noticed my restriction, and obviously like I can feel my restriction when I am eating, when I, like when I get to the end of my meal, I can feel, yeah, I'm full, but everything that I've eaten basically for the past 2.5 months, I measure out beforehand, so it's like I am perfectly aware of how much I'm eating. I'm like, okay, I can eat however much, 2 to 3 ounces of dense protein, a little bit more of like yogurt or cottage cheese or something. But this is the first time where I'd like mindlessly eaten, where I wasn't weighing and measuring it beforehand. So it was cool to actually feel my stomach, it's like after, I don't know, like several cubes of cheese, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to eat very many. Like, it's like I could have eaten a few more, but I could feel it. I was like, I'm approaching my limit. And then that kind of reminded me, hey, you're mindlessly eating right now. And so then I didn't even eat those few more that I could have had room for. I was like, you're just eating because you're standing next to the cheese and you're talking and you're just sort of, and so I, moved away from the table. But it was just kind of cool to feel that kind of in action, because it's the first time since surgery that situation has really arisen. Right? Like everything that I've eaten has been so planned out, and pre-measured and pre-weighed that I haven't really needed that sleeve or really felt that sleeve kind of kick in, which I was actually really excited about it. That's one thing that I've been trying to I've been talking about them in therapy, and I've been trying to work out, like, I got to this voluminous weight, right? Like I got here. I've been overweight my entire life. So I've always had an issue with food, and I've just been getting, I've just eaten more and more and more. And so I've been trying to really figure out why that is. And I mean, I know that I'm an emotional eater. So like when I'm bored or stressed or angry or sad or happy, whatever, I do eat my emotions. But that's not all of it. I am occasionally a mindless eater, but it's really if like there is food in front of me. That is actually something, if I have like food left on my plate and I'm full, I have a really hard time not picking at it. So like there's food in front of me, I do kind of mindlessly eat it, but those situations don't arise all that often in my life. Like sometimes if we're going out to eat, and there's like a fries or something, or if we're at a movie and someone got popcorn or something, but I don't really just like mindlessly like grab chips at my own home and eat those, like, so again, there's the mindless, that happens on occasion, that's an aspect, and there's the emotional aspect, but I don't necessarily feel like I eat my feelings in the sense of like I'm trying to make myself feel better all the time, or there's like some trauma that I'm trying to move past. I guess for me to get to this size, it feels like there needs to be like a big issue. And like I find myself, I'm really, I do struggle a lot. I've struggled a lot, especially in the past month or so, of just, I want to eat. I love food. It tastes good. I do get like a emotional, like dopamine, serotonin, something or other response to eating good food. It makes me feel good. I get this they're very positive association, but it's not necessarily like, there are instances where I'm feeling bad and so I want that. But a lot of times like I'm feeling fine. It's just food would make me feel even better. And I guess I'm struggling sort of to figure out the root of whatever it is that is like giving me this urge to eat. And like, I want to snack, I want to be eating, even if sometimes I'll finish my meal and I'm full. And sometimes I'm like, I'm right at the limit. Like I could not eat more comfortably. And like, I want to go eat again. Like just mentally, I'm like, I'm not satisfied. I'm not necessarily always satisfied with the small amount I get, especially when it's like super delicious and I just want to eat more of it. And I guess, I don't know, I'm doing a lot of thinking. I've always been a fairly self-aware person. And so it's frustrating that I feel like I don't really have a good grip on exactly why I overeat. And is it just as simple as like I really like food and I just want to eat it because it's enjoyable? But then how do I break that cycle? I'm doing everything I can. Like I want to work on developing like a healthier relationship with food, and so that I'm not using this as, so that I don't go back to bad habits when I can eat more. But I can't imagine not enjoying food. Like it's just not going to happen. And so if that's the thing I have to overcome, that's going to be just really difficult. So yeah, I don't know. Why do I enjoy eating so much? And maybe it's just trying to figure out a different pleasure replacement. And there are other things I do that I enjoy, right? Like I do a lot of reading. I love to read. I write. I don't know, do other stuff. Like there are things like, a lot of times I look forward to reading a book every night. But there's just some unique place that food holds for me within my life. And I don't quite know how to, I don't know if replace is the right word. And I guess I don't know what I'm trying to do. Maybe that's part of my struggle. I know that I don't want to want food as much as I do. I want it all the time. Even when I'm not hungry, and like 99% of the time since surgery, 98% of the time since surgery, I totally resist. I'm like, I'm not, you're not hungry right now. You're full, like you don't have room for this in your macros. If you eat this now, then you're not going to be able to eat that later. I do a lot of these mental this mental battle, and I'm prepared for this. Well, I don't know if I'm prepared. I'm accepting that this is going to be a lifelong battle, but I want to do whatever I can to kind of give myself whatever leg up I can now, you know, those tools. And so I guess I'm just trying to really figure out why I want food so much and what is it that food does for me, and how can I retrain my brain to not constantly want to snack, you know, or constantly want to eat. How can I get it to the point where I'm not like lying in bed at 9 o'clock reading and like I stop my book for a second and then all of a sudden I think a spoonful of peanut butter would be really good right now. And it'll get to the point where like that's all I can think about. I'm trying to read my book and then my brain's just like, you could just go up and get some peanut butter though. And it's like, okay, how many calories will that add? Okay, so it's like, so you're just gonna go 90 calories over your budget. Like, is that really so bad? You know, it's just 90 calories. You know, and it's low carb. So it's like, you know, like my mind's constantly trying to like justify why I can do it, and it's fucking hard, man, you know? And I know a lot of you guys, if you guys have had the surgery, like, you know that it's just a constant negotiation in my brain where that little devil on my shoulder is throwing out these persuasive arguments. You know, you're still super early out from surgery. If you have a spoonful of peanut butter right now, it's not going to kill you. But like, I also have my little angel saying like, you don't want that calorie creep to come in. You don't want to start jacking up those calories too early. Like, you're not hungry. You don't need that peanut butter, or, you know, whatever it is. So you know, that's kind of like my big thing right now, is trying to figure out why I want food so badly and how can I make myself not want it so much. So if you guys have any amazing, wonderful tips, please leave them in the comments below. I have gone through so much gum, you don't even know. It's getting a little bit ridiculous. Like, I feel like my jaw's hurting from chewing so much, but c'est la vie. Anyways, this was like a really short video, and then I rambled about wanting food for 20 minutes. So thank you guys, as always, so much for watching. I really, really, really appreciate it. Every time I see a comment from one of you guys pop up in my inbox, my little YouTube notifications, I get so excited. It really means a lot. I've talked to so many amazing people in this community, and I really feel like that's going to be a big factor in my future success. So as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to find me on other platforms, links to those are below. I am going to be posting another video later this week. I have 2, 3 maybe in the queue. And by the queue, I mean like I've got things filmed and I need to edit and figure out when to load. So you'll probably be hearing from me before next Tuesday. But in the meantime, of course, have a marvelous day and an even more marvelous week. All right, guys, talk to you later. Bye.